and we'll bring Karen on here in a minute and talk with her about some different things. Does anybody care if you're the owner? What's a hashtag? Lots of good things, all related to the window treatment and awning business. So very excited to have you guys on. Can somebody jump into the screen there, and you should have a section that maybe it says Q&A or something, and just let me know that you can hear me and I sound okay. And also, if you can see the screen with the splash screen there with the title and stuff. Okay, Michael says loud and clear. Awesome, fantastic. Hopefully you guys are able to see the screen too. And looks like we got some more people jumping on. Robert says looks good. John says I hear you. Awesome, fantastic, good. All right, well, it is 11 o'clock Central, so I am ready to get this party started. I'm sure we're going to have a bunch more people jumping on as we go through this. First of all, real quick about Window Treatment Marketing Pros. My name is Will Hankey. I'm an Air Force veteran. I've been doing digital marketing and such for 22 years now. And my daughter Amber works with me. And here we are winning an award called the Future 50, which is fastest growing businesses in St. Louis. So pretty excited to have you guys on. And we're helping window treatment and awning companies get more leads through the website, through various internet marketing and digital strategies. And I have recently released a book. If you have not got a copy of my book, I'd love to share that with you. And you can get a free copy real quick just at wtmarketingpros.com/book. There's a little form there. Where do you want us to send it to? That kind of stuff. And I'm more than happy to get that out to you at no charge at all. And hi, Dana. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it. So let's jump into this. What we're going to talk about today is a couple things. First of all, should you be on social platforms, on all the social platforms? What's the advantage of a group? So Facebook, just in the last week or two, has really made a huge shift toward pushing groups on their platform. So we'll talk to Karen about that. Why do we care if you're the owner, or do we care? What do you need to talk about if you are on social media and you're on these different platforms? What do you talk about? And then what is a hashtag for those that aren't sure or maybe know what it is but not sure where to use it, when to use it, what's appropriate, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that as well. Also, as we've already kind of played around with, on your screen there should be a Q&A section there. Karen's going to take over in a minute, and then I'm going to monitor the Q&A section as we go. So if you have any questions or you're unclear with something, make sure to just pop it in there, and Karen and I will discuss. We'll have a Q&A section at the end, but if it's something that's pressing, I might just interrupt her and ask her the question, which I'm sure she'll be fine with as well. So a little bit about Miss Karen Fox. She's also known as Karen the Connector, and I need to switch my screens here. Since 2009, Karen has been bringing her expertise from decades of award-winning success in sales, marketing, and leadership to her roles as certified speaker, trainer, coach, strategist, and founder of Karen the Connector and Stepping Up You. She specializes in helping clients discover the market to the right audience, recognize their gifts and talents, and how their unique message can attract the right clients for their business through her sales and marketing processes. Help me welcome Karen as she speaks to us today on leveraging social media for greater brand exposure and more sales, which all sound like fantastic things, right? So Karen, let me see if I can click on this and make you the presenter.
So we're going to talk about leveraging social media for greater brand exposure and more sales. And what we're going to cover, Will's already kind of been over it, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but should you be on all the social platforms? Not all platforms are created equal. What is the advantage of a group? Does groups have perks you can't get otherwise? Why do we care if you're the owner? Being an owner really has no clout. What do I even talk about and how to find that quick content? And what is a hashtag anyway? How to use your hashtags to your advantage. Before you begin any kind of marketing, you have to know your perfect client. You have to know, and I always talk about 3 different levels of perfect client. And you start and you really narrow down and you get to know the one extremely well that you could walk into a room and go, that's my client. I personally even like to name them, so I have a specific name for each one of my categories. And so, but you've got to know what age they are, what location they live in, what their gender is, their income level, education, all of those things which you're used to. But one of the areas that most people are not used to is learning their personality, learning their attitudes, what they like and what they don't like, what their values are, what their interests are, what do they do for fun, where do they shop, where do they vacation. And I get asked all the time, what difference does that make? Well, what difference that makes is how you market to them. It's the images we use and it's the things we do to create that experience for them that draws them in for your marketing. So if you want this, there's a link later that you can get this information so you can fill out your own perfect client list. Should you be on all platforms? Not all platforms are created equal. So how about you as our guest, if you'll tell us real quick in the Q&A, do you believe you should be on all platforms?
Dana says no. I think Dana's onto something.
I think you're right.
Bobby says no. I think we have a consensus here.
Of no? Good. Very good. That is the correct answer. Ding, ding, ding. We have winners here. Seriously, you should not to say that you can't have a presence on all of them, or majority of them, not all of them, but the important thing is to be on the ones where your clients, your customers are hanging out. If you are spending time on a platform where your people that you can influence are not, you are wasting time, you are wasting money, and you will have no value to that. So you have to know that perfect client consensus there is what's so important, because before you can know where to hang out, you have to know who that perfect client is. And we're going to talk about the different ones and the different things that it happens in those. First of all, on Facebook. How many of you are on Facebook business-wise? Just put it in the Q&A.
So do they have a Facebook
business page
for their business?
Correct.
Yep, Bobby says yep. Vicki, yes. Oh, lots of them. Michael, yes.
Very good.
Dana is with ComfortTex, which is a vendor for the window treatment industry, so they said they are. Home in Progress also says yes. Lots of yeses on that one.
Good, very good. Will can obviously speak to this much more than I can. He's the SEO guru. But the Facebook business page gives you clout and gives you search engine optimization with Google, because it's a business page. Your personal profiles do not do that for you. So that's one of the benefits. You also cannot advertise unless you have a business page. And Facebook has one of the least expensive ways to advertise and most efficient with their algorithm. What is the advantages of groups? First of all, you can target your followers. You get greater engagement. You can see email updates. You can build a community, and you can create polls. Now, Will already alluded to this in the fact that Facebook is really, really encouraging groups. And many times I'll get asked, but what do I do a group on? You know, in your industry with window treatments, you can have a group that is decorators. You can have a group that's strictly for those that are in the construction industry that are doing your, what do you call them, the promo homes. I'm trying to display homes. those types of things. So it depends on, you just look for other groups that are part of what I call them as subgroups to what you do. It's people that can joint venture with you, and those are the ones that you create groups for. And how often you speak into a group is totally up to you. And it's also up to you if you allow others to post or if you have to approve those posts. And many times I'll have clients start out and they'll just, I ask them to approve everything. And then if it seems like it's going along and there's no concerns, open the group up. You can have a private group which means people can find you online, but they can't see anything going on in the group. Or you can have a secret group where they can't even find you online. You have to have a link or someone to invite you to it. Again, we talked about polls. Now you can do polls all over the place, and there's a lot of advantage to polls, not just in groups, but when you're asking anything in marketing, because a poll just allows your audience, your ideal client, your perfect client, to tell you what they want. So the polls just give them an opportunity to check off they like this, they want this, they don't like this. So if you're trying to figure out, particularly with what you're doing with the window coverings, my goodness, you have some most beautiful things that you can say, do you prefer this style or this style in a poll? So it just gives you a little insight without having to spend a lot of money and extra time in putting that into it. So polls are extremely valuable. Have any other?
A great idea for a poll for somebody on social media could be, two different sets of draperies or something, which one looks better, or even a great way to promote your before and after, and hopefully the after always wins, right?
Right, absolutely.
And we've started a Facebook group called Window Treatment Marketing Secrets, but for window treatment companies, maybe it's even just building a local business owners if you're going after commercial business, in your particular city, business owners, and a great way to network and build up some sort of a group, which is a community. So there's lots of great ways to do it. But I know, from what I understand, the last couple of weeks, Facebook is really kind of pushing those hard and giving more chances for eyeballs, I guess, on those.
Absolutely, more visibility all the way around with the Facebook group now. And the thing is, we'll kind of said a little bit about it, the community, everyone wants to be a part of something. Just make sure it's a positive, and the thing I have to insist that you do is make sure that your rules are set in place, what you will and will not allow in the group. So if something is posted after you've kind of opened it up to everyone, then you can come back to that rule and you can remove something, and it's not a problem if they've posted something that doesn't fit within your parameters. Very good. Okay, live. Facebook Live is so powerful right now. How many of you done a live?
As you know, I do Facebook Lives a lot about different things, and it's a fantastic way to get more eyeballs again, right? I think one of the tricks with it, which I'm sure you'll go over, is you've got to kind of have a plan. And you have to be on there for a couple minutes in order for Facebook to let people know you're on. And, you can't just go on and say, hey, I'm eating lunch. Nobody's going to care about that.
Exactly. Doesn't take long before they stop following you on the live.
Yeah. So I am interested if anybody that's attending today has done any Facebook Lives for their business, not necessarily personal, although personal's fine, but has anybody gone into that area of promoting your business on a Facebook Live? We'll give them a minute to answer here.
Okay.
Got one yes, it looks like, and nobody else is replying here.
Okay. Well, the first time I did my first live, I finished it, and even though I'm in the industry, I thought, did I say what I think I just said? So you do have the advantage that only the people that saw it at that moment saw it, and you can not post it so others can see it. But practice makes perfect on those kind of things. And, it's just like life. There's times that we say things in regular life that we go, did that come out just right?
Yeah.
Don't be concerned with that. But this is the way you get to stay in front of those ideal people that you need to be in front of. And you're giving a lot of information. So what to share on live? You can share testimonials. And what I mean by that is you don't get on and say, you know, this is a new testimonial, da-da-da. But you can come on and I could say something to the essence of, I have the best customers in the world. I just heard from one of them, and I'll tell you, if this doesn't make your day, I don't know what does. They just told me da-da-da-da-da. And so just talking a little bit about it, but not just reading the testimony or not just look at us, look at us. It can't be the buy me kind of thing. Trends. With what you're doing, trends are extremely important. So talking about that, talking about color, talking about things that are brand new. Maybe it's a new fabric, maybe it's a new pattern, any of those types of things. Or how to. Maybe you're just going to talk about how to drape something back. Or maybe you're going to talk about the latest in tiebacks, and you want to show them how to, to screw those in. The next thing is tips. You might talk about, well, if you're decorating in a room, your darker colors are going to make your rooms look smaller. Those types of things. So there's a lot you could share on lives that just make it just enough tidbits that they keep coming back to hear your live and to watch you, and not just what you're having for lunch. That's important. Well, you want to make sure that you're on at least 3 minutes. The ideal amount of time is 7 minutes, is what Facebook really likes, because they're trying to gather that audience. That's what Will referred to earlier. The 3 minutes is the minimum you want to be on. That has become a really, really important level of measurement for Facebook. So if you're not, in the past, we've always told you with videos, 2 minutes or less, and we've drilled that for so long, and then Facebook comes back and says, no, we want you on for at least 3 minutes. And again, 7 minutes is the ideal thing. But you see it pop up in your feed, and it goes, oh, so-and-so went live, so-and-so went live. And you jump on and you go, okay, is it something I'm interested in? Or if it's not, you go away. And so that's how they're trying to create this whole atmosphere of community and bringing people to the now. If you're doing Facebook pages and you're the manager of it, if you do not have this app, you want to make sure you do. It's Facebook Pages Manager. It just makes sure that you can come directly here on the app on your phone instead of having to go through your personal account and then get to your business page. So this is just a tip to make it easier and faster for you. Let's talk about Twitter. How many of you are on Twitter for business?
Oh, I'm sure this is going to be a big number, Karen.
Okay.
Right.
I'm sure.
So let's see. Robert says on but haven't done anything. Vicky says nope. Dana says we are but not one of my favorites. And John says Comfortex, the brand, is on Twitter.
Well, Dana, I have to agree with you. Twitter's not my favorite either. However, it is valuable, but we'll talk about it in a few minutes when we get to a couple more slides of why. Because when I get to events and I'm speaking and I ask how many are on Twitter, I'm lucky if a couple really raise their hands. And then I realized why. We'll talk about it in just a minute, but what do I even talk about? How do I find content? That's where you can find Twitter to be so valuable. Because Twitter allows you to put trends in, and you can tailor it just for you. So if you go into your Twitter account and in the search bar, put trends, on the left-hand side down about halfway, you'll see this image pop up. And I can change, I can tailor my trends. So this gives you quick information of things that are going on. And again, you can always use hashtags, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But this is important because trends allows you to see what's going on around you without having to stay on constantly. The other thing I learned from Will Hankey many years ago was to use Google Alerts. It's google.com/alerts. And using those alerts allows you to have things come to you in your email, so you're not having to search for them. So every company wants at least their company name. And if you'll put those in quotations, because I had Karen Fox, is my name, and so anything that popped up with Karen or Fox News, and so you have to put it in quotations so it comes up together. You always want your company name. You can put your competition in there. You can put keywords, things that you want to know if they pop up in the news anywhere, that they automatically get sent to you in an email. Any comments you want to make on that, Will?
No, I think the best thing about Google Alerts is being able to watch your competition and, you know, putting in their URLs, and every time that they put up a new piece of content, it will alert you and let you know, so that you can basically go write a better piece of content and just overtake their rankings for that thing.
Right, absolutely. Now, tweets with video attract 10 times as much engagement. That's how much, people are engaging and talking. But the only thing that's different is the video maximum is 2.2 minutes on Twitter. So if you're doing a video, make sure you're not going over that. I just talked about the 3 minutes on the Facebook Live for Facebook. Again, there's a different angle for every one of the platforms. The best video links, they've just updated all of this, especially with Facebook changing theirs. But Instagram, the best link is 30 seconds. That's not all you can do. You can do 60, but 30 seconds is the best. Twitter is 45 seconds. Facebook is the 3 minutes, and YouTube is the 3 minutes now.
So for YouTube, you mean streaming on YouTube?
They just say the best video links.
Okay.
They did not specific whether it was live streaming or actually uploaded video.
Got it. Okay, cool.
And this is why most of those that are at my events are not on Twitter, because the most engaged age on Twitter is 18 to 24. Now, that doesn't mean that's all that's on there by any means, but that's the most engaged. So I think that's why most Twitter is not being used at my events. Now, Twitter images will give you 3 to 4 times more engagement rather than just putting out content. If you'll retweet someone, that gets you more followers. And the @ sign, the mentions, so if I want to do @Red Canoe Media or @Will Hankey, that grows your followers 17% more than you would expect. Now, Instagram. How many of you are using Instagram for business?
Well, I'll jump in and say I'm not, and probably should be. But, it's another platform, right? Bobby says yes. Dana says, oh, definitely. And Michael says Comfortex does. So I think I'm missing the boat on this one, Karen.
Well, especially in their industries with window treatments and window coverings and awnings and things like that, they're visible. So an image really tells the story. So it's very important. And the other advantage you've got is the insights that you can get on Instagram. Very, very powerful. Now, what is a hashtag anyway? I'm old enough that a hashtag was just a number sign. So when we talk about hashtag, and who gave them the right to call it a hashtag? I don't know. But a hashtag, all that does is make things discoverable. And so Twitter was the first one to pioneer, and they're the first one to use the hashtag for searching. But you put your hashtag in, and then whatever you want. This one I did, and this is Sunshine Drapery piece, but this would have been a post that you could have put in Instagram, and it says, celebrate your love of flowers all year round. So it talks about the drapery, but it's not specifically the draperies. That window treatment's absolutely beautiful, but what pops is those flowers. So I did hashtag celebrate you, and that celebrate you has 123,000 hashtags. Then I would have done window treatments, again the S, window coverings. Always use your company name so you can follow that. And I would have used home decor because I would have wanted to make sure that was powerful in that area. Or is anyone else using any other hashtags on Instagram they want to share?
So Karen, on Instagram, you can use more than one. You can just kind of put out, is there a number, 5 or 6 or 10? Or?
You can do up to 30. However, we're going to talk about it in just a minute when you do the cross-promoting makes the difference.
Gotcha. Okay.
So does anybody have any hashtags they're using regularly?
Never used company name, but I will start using, says Bobby.
Good.
So I guess that's with no spaces, huh? And you would just do hashtag and then whatever your full business name is.
Yes, no spaces, because then it stops the hashtag. So if I was doing hashtag social media and I did social space media, it would really only be hashtag social. So it's all got to stay together.
Gotcha. Vicky says I'm just trying to learn about the hashtag. So fantastic.
Good, very good. Well, here's what makes the difference. If you're going to cross-promote, and if you're posting on Instagram from your phone, you can have it set up where it can go directly to Facebook and to Twitter. Now, this is where it makes a difference on the hashtags. If you're going to Twitter, 5 hashtags is perfect for Twitter. If you're doing Facebook, you have to be very careful because people have a perceived value that if you do it on Facebook and you do more than about 3, that you didn't care enough about them to come to Facebook to post. So it just doesn't seem to have as much value to it. So just be careful when you're doing your hashtags that you don't overdo them. If you're doing it strictly on Instagram, pile them up. Use them all. That's beautiful. But if you're going to cross-promote at the same time, please don't use them all because you will start losing people on both of these sites.
So Karen, is this is inherent to the Instagram app, correct? Where if you post something on Instagram, it can go out to these other channels. But so the best scenario, I'm assuming, is post it on Instagram with your 5 or 10 hashtags and visit these other networks and do it outside of the program, depending on how many hashtags. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense. And then Dana says hashtag window shades, hashtag roller shades, hashtag cellular shades, which is a little difficult to say, and hashtag blinds with an S. So
very good.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you for sharing. Because those are all, and if you'll start thinking about what you say and do daily, your hashtags will start to pop to mind. But when you're first thinking about it, it's like, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? So that's why I suggest that you build those lists where you can just copy and paste those.
Karen, I have one more question. Are Comfortex, for instance, who's on the call today, would you, if you were showing one of their products, would you obviously hashtag them, or is there an @ symbol, or how do you kind of tag them on Instagram, or is that a thing?
Yes, you can tag them. You can do a mention. You can do it that direction. You can also come back later and tag them and just put their, just hit the tag and then put their information in, and it will pull it up to tag them. But always use, even the hashtag though will make it at least searchable. If anyone's doing anything in their business, they'll notice those.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you. Okay. Now, on Instagram, you have the opportunity of doing stories, and I've not been the first adapter on this because I was always one to repurpose. So I would do a video, and then I could use it all over. On stories, they're live, and you only get 15 seconds, and the interesting part is they only stay up for 24 hours. So if you're doing something and, you've got a brand new piece of fabric that come in, you might want to say something like, oh, look at this absolutely gorgeous brocade we just got in. That could be something very quick in a 15-second. But you also want to call to action. That's where most people are leaving out of stories. So look at this most gorgeous brand new brocade. Oh, who is going to be the next one to have their window treatments done with this? Give us a call. So then you've got that call to action to follow it. You can say a lot in 15 seconds. The thing is to remember, this is something that's going to be rotating. It'll be gone in 24 hours. Now on Instagram, they say posting 1 to 2 times per day is ideal. Do all of us do it? No. I would rather see you consistent than worrying about getting on and you go, oh no, I haven't posted twice today. Oh no, I haven't done this. Be consistent. Plan it out. Do your scheduling. And they say the best time to post is during off work hours, which is 11 to 1, typically lunch, and 7 to 9 p.m. And they say save the important posts for Wednesdays and Thursdays. They tend to generate the most engagement. So what does that say? If you've got a sale or something going on or a big event, don't post those on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Save those for Wednesdays and Thursdays on Instagram. Now remember though, on Instagram, you don't get an opportunity to put except one link, and that's in your bio. So if you've got an event you want to send them to, and you want to do a live about it, change the link in your bio. Now they say Sunday is a definite no-no, and I would say test that. I believe in testing and measuring every one of these platforms because this is the average of everyone. This is the best time. Always make sure and watch those insights, and you will know if it's best for you and your industry. Here's a little keyword tool I found to give you the best hashtags for keywords, so you can use them, find the keyword and then use them as a hashtag. But it's keywordtool.io/Instagram. Now they have it. You can do YouTube, Google, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. But this is a great little tool I found, so you can find just some different ones than what you're typically using. I've already said it, but consistency is crucial. You know, it's one thing to be going along and you're posting really well, and then all of a sudden you drop off. Do you realize that takes you right back to the bottom with your SEO, and you have to work to bring it back up again? So don't lose that consistency. I don't care if you tell me I can only post twice a week, then post twice a week, but be consistent. I am finding personally posting 3 times a week is extremely valuable, and we get a lot of results from that. If you can do more, absolutely, but 3 will get you a lot of power. How many of you are on LinkedIn personally?
Let me see. Dana, Michael, home in progress. I'll say yes. Yes, I am. Vicky says yes. And Bobby says no. So we've got a little bit of a mixture there, mostly yes.
Okay, great. Well, LinkedIn, I think, has really taken the place on credibility. Typically you had to have a website, and you still need that, but you typically had to have a website before you were even trusted. And LinkedIn has become the place to house your resume so people can find you and they get to know you. We talk about algorithms constantly. And what is an algorithm? It's a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. All it is it tells the computer what to do when. And so Facebook does not tell us, Twitter does not tell us, Instagram does not tell us, none of them tell us what the algorithm is. But it's people like Will and I that's doing the business that we have to stay in touch with it to see when we drop and how things move. And all of a sudden you were getting such, momentum, and then all of a sudden it drops and you're like, why? We have to play around with things to find out what that algorithm did. LinkedIn with professional headshots get 14 times more views. You'll notice here, Lisa has a little darker background where Will and Kathy do not. It does not matter. The whole point to it, though, is that you can see head and shoulders. This is the first place they get to know, like, and trust you, so they need to see your eyes. It's a 400 by 400 photo. So when you're doing your pixel touch, you've got 400 by 400, so it's exactly where you see the face, you see the eyes. Be very careful. A lot of people will say, but, what if, I'm in an industry that I don't dress up? Well, think about it. How do you meet your clients? If you're a personal trainer, you may want to dress in personal training clothes. However, if you meet clients on a regular basis and you're dressed up, then your LinkedIn profile should look dressed up. So it should be how they meet with you. And you want to be perceived as the expert, so make sure that's showing through. I personally love outdoor photos. However, I wear transitional lenses, so my outdoor photos look like I had on sunglasses. So they did me no value because no one could start to know, like, and trust me because they couldn't see my eyes. Now, why do we care if you're the owner on LinkedIn? We don't. Just saying. It's important that you've got that somewhere in your summary, but that is not important. important for your headline. You get 120 characters, and this is your most prime real estate on LinkedIn. You'll see mine says Market Domination Strategist, a pipe, Speaker, pipe, Dynamic Results Bar, pipe, Entrepreneurs, pipe, Women Direct Sales Leaders, pipe, Team. So when you're looking at those pipes, what that does is it separates it. So if people are looking for those searching, whether it be with a hashtag or just in the search bar, they can find me if it's between those pipes. No one's going to look for Market Domination Strategist, Speaker, Dynamic Results Bar. And if when you leave it together, that's what happens. So extremely valuable to make sure that you're giving them something. This determines whether they're going to connect with you or whether they're not. So if it just says owner, sorry, nobody cares that you're the owner. Why do I want to connect with you? Is there a reason that I can benefit by connecting with you? That's what I want to know. It's what's in it for me to connect with you. You'll also see the 500 plus connections. So if you don't have 500 connections, that's your first goal. After 500, you could have 50,000 and nobody will know the difference. So the first goal is to get to that 500. So every time you meet someone and you get a business card, get back on here and start to fill those out and start to connect with them. You don't know who's connected to who, and you can be invited to ask for a connection very simply through LinkedIn. Endorsements on LinkedIn versus recommendations. An endorsement just says, I know Will's an SEO expert. I know he's in marketing. Now, I know he's amazing, but I'm just saying I know that. A recommendation says, I have used his services, I have got results from it, and I am recommending him to all my friends. Big difference. When it comes to the clout on LinkedIn, you want those recommendations. When you ask for recommendation, though, please tell them what you're looking for. Just give them a few bullet points. You know, I might say to Will, was I knowledgeable? Was I professional? Did I give value? And then he can go through quickly and write that out. But if I say, can you just give me a recommendation? Will goes, sure, he doesn't mind. But he goes, I don't have time for that. I'll do that later. And then it's on his to-do list. And he goes, yeah, I need to do that recommendation. I don't have time for that because I don't know what to say yet. And it keeps going to the bottom of the list till eventually it just doesn't happen. So tell them what you're looking for. Now on YouTube, how many of you have a business YouTube channel?
Well, this will be interesting. Dana says we do. Bobby says no. Home in progress, no. Vicki says no. I think the no's are going to win this one.
Oh, my.
Now, we do, but of course, we're a marketing firm, so.
Right.
But yeah, it looks like most people are saying no, they do not.
Well, if you want to beat your competition, you're going to be on YouTube. Because if you search any name of a company, any person, the first thing that's always going to come up is a video. So that's the first thing to come up. So when you're searching, and if you don't believe me, go search your company or your name, and you'll see if there's any videos, they'll be the first things to pop up. Now on YouTube, keywords are king. So you want to own that market. You want to dominate with those keywords. So we already talked about some of those keywords because they're in your hashtags. But you know exactly what you're using on your website to build. And if not, Will can definitely help you in that area so that you know what to use when you're using them on YouTube. Now, YouTube has a large banner in the background, and it's one of the hardest to get to work, I'll tell you. The banner is 2560 by 1440. And when you pull it up, it can look just perfect. And you can see a little bit of Will's is missing at the top because that's how it shows no matter what you do. So when you're creating your image or having it created, drop it down just a little bit. And that's what Will's done here so you see the red Canoe Media. When you come to a YouTube channel and it has the background, you know it's someone that's serious about their business. If not, it's just going to be a plain blue black background. and it doesn't have the punch that it does when you've got this image in it. Now, titles are only allowed 70 characters, and they say 60 or best. So we're going to talk about the title of the video. So 70 characters are allowed, but 60 are the best because that's what you see. Now, the description and title add your website address, and you want it right away so people can see that, because the easier you make it, the faster they're likely to connect with you. You know as well as I do, if you go to a site and you go, I don't know if this is the right site, we have just left. There's not a question. We don't look around. We don't check it out. We just move on. We live in a microwave society. Everything's got to be quick. And so in this one, I just said tips, and I put my website address, sales and marketing tips for those in network marketing. Whatever is going on in that, use your keywords again, and make sure you're using that website so they can click on that quickly. Will, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, you know what, I'm using rev.com, R-E-V.com. After you put up a YouTube video, you can actually use that service to transcribe the video, which is really cool, because then you can put that right back into the description there as the entire transcription, which is going to be full of all the keywords that you just used when you were talking. That service it's like $1 a minute. So, you know, an eight minute video is going to cost you $8 to get it done. Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
they connect
Great
right to your YouTube channel and everything. So, I mean, you don't have to go back and copy and paste it in. It's all done automatically. So pretty cool little tool there.
Oh, that's a great tool. So that's rev.com?
Yeah, rev.com. V as in Victor.
Perfect. Thanks for that great tip. Now, if you've had your sites and created for over 2 years, you definitely need an assessment to detect the areas in your business that are not optimized. And Will asked me to give some type of special here, and this is just something very simple as far as the marketing assessment and the coaching to make sure it's optimized correctly. Because many times you'll get the information, but you don't know what to do with it. So this gives you that information and then the coaching behind it to be able to make sure that you're getting all the results that you need from your marketing. Because if you're investing time and money into your marketing, you've got to get the most from it. So this is just a special we've offered for this. And now if we can, Willis, we'll just go back and see if there's any more questions.
All right, we can do that. I'm going to, I got too many screens going here, Karen. I'm going to make myself the presenter, but I should be able to then turn your audio back on. So Karen, hopefully your audio will come back on, and then I can, we can still see everything that's going on here. Oh, Karen, let's hope that she pops back here in a second. Hopefully this can work. I do have a couple questions here. If anyone does have any questions, please put them into the Q&A area. And there she is. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
So, okay, good. Let's see here. All right, I think we're good to go here. So let me see. So I wrote down a couple questions too while everybody else is typing theirs in. Actually, Bobby had a question for you. Is there an easy way to, or is there a way to easily build followers on my business pages?
It's not easy, Bobby. I'm not going to kid you there. It's probably one of the most difficult things to do, but it's still well worth it. Definitely you can go in and invite all your friends. I'm not saying invite all friends. I'm saying it just gives you the option to do that. But to go back and invite specific people that would be great for business. On everything you put out, make sure that you say to follow us on Facebook and just continue building it. I don't care if it's just a few a month, as long as you continue building, you'll be fine.
Good, good. Oh, I think my screen just went crazy here. I'll just put that there. How's that? Let's see. Dana says, thank you for your time today. I got a bunch of good takeaways and enjoyed the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome. Question, should I do Facebook Live from my car?
You can. There's nothing wrong with that. You see people doing it all the time. more importantly, it's not where it's being done, it's the content being shared.
Okay, good. I see a lot of them, people that typically get out of a meeting or something like, hey, I just wanted to share this with everybody. You know, I see that a lot. Can I use a hashtag on Facebook? I think you kind of mentioned that,
Yes.
that it's probably not a great idea.
Right. As long as you don't use more than a few, you'll be fine. But make sure you use the most powerful ones.
Okay. What about Pinterest? One of the things that you did not mention, but it's a highly visual kind of, I guess it's a social media platform. What would you say about that?
It is. And depending on how you're using it, it can be very powerful. And Pinterest has really upped their game recently. So definitely with things that are visual like yours, it would be a great place. But the thing is with Pinterest that you've got to be careful with, I shouldn't say be careful, but it's the sharing of it. So you want to make sure that if you're going to put images on there and that type of thing, watermark your images, copyright your images so that people can't take them and use them. I don't think it would be as bad in your industry, but some industries, people steal photos all the time, and you don't want that to happen to you.
Yeah, and I'd also say if you're sharing other images, make sure that you have permission to do so. You know, that you're using, if you're using vendor photos, typically the vendors say go ahead and use ours. But yeah, make sure you have permission, because I have seen people fuss about, you know, using images that were not theirs in the first place.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. LinkedIn question. Well, actually, it was a comment. I don't connect if there's no picture. And
Great comment. I usually cover that, and I'm very cautious about that. I better know a lot of people before I'm going to connect if there's no image. And if they're, even when they pop up, I see who the people are that are connected to them. And if it's not people that I'm really recognizing, I'm still very cautious. There's nothing, and there's no right or wrong whether you should or should not connect to them.
Okay. Comments that I always hear is typically around, if they don't have a picture, I'm not connecting with them. But it seems to be pretty normal. Another question: are recommendations for B2C, or is it only for other business owners?
On LinkedIn, I'm assuming they're talking about.
Yeah, on LinkedIn. I guess the question is, do you ask a customer to go leave you a recommendation on LinkedIn, or is it more for other business owners that you know, like in your chamber or something like that?
Oh, both. If you've done a job well, there is nothing wrong with asking for that recommendation. But make sure you give them a link, how to get to it. Now, they have to be on LinkedIn. Both have to be on LinkedIn, or you cannot give a recommendation. But give them the link and give them those bullet points if they wouldn't mind taking the time to do that.
Okay. So if you're going to ask for that, go ahead and kind of give them a little head start, I guess.
Right. So they can just basically fill in the blank.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Let's see. Home in Progress says, thanks, Karen and Will. Have to run. We'll report back after I try some of the tips I learned today. Awesome. Yeah, great. Well, Karen, thank you so much for being on today. You've given us some fantastic information. If anybody does want to copy my book, go ahead and fill out the form at wtmarketingpros.com/book. And Karen's social media review, along with coaching, right, after the fact. So it's not just here's what's wrong, but also how to get it all fixed. And you can learn more about that at wtmarketingpros.com/Karen Fox. And that link will take you to her page that has the discount already applied, correct?
Correct. And it also has the perfect client list.
Oh, the perfect client list is on there too. Awesome. Okay. Well, fantastic. Karen, thank you so much for jumping on today. I appreciate everybody for attending. And I hope everyone has a fantastic day. And look at that, we're 1 minute early, Karen. We knocked it out of the park. Well, you did, not me, right?
Thank you, Will. I mean, anyone that's ever worked with you know that there is just a brilliant mind on you going constantly. And I just have learned so much through the years, and thank you for this opportunity.
No problem. Thank you. All right, we will talk to everyone later. See ya. Bye.